8,255 pounds, one owner, originally sold right here at Haylet RV. This is a big two-slide bunkhouse with a direct bath entry door and a big outside kitchen. It is a large, big family camper. And it's built to be the kind of thing that you can use for many years until the kids grow up and leave the house, which is exactly what has taken place here. We sold this to the folks. They took their family out camping, built a bunch of memories, and as the kiddos grew up and, you know, onward and outward, they swapped it out for a small little lightweight couples camper because they just didn't need this big old beauty anymore. This is not a floor plan that historically is exceptionally travel friendly, but Jayco actually did a pretty good job on their execution of it. I think they did as good as you possibly could. You see that historically the dinette would have been up front here in the slide where the sofa is currently. By flip-flopping that, they've added the ability to get back to the pantry and to that 8 cubic foot fridge freezer. But you notice how the dinette here, it comes right up next to the wall. Well, that is where the bathroom is located, and thankfully you've got a direct entry bathroom door outside. And if you notice, there's just enough room. You can open that door, step up into that corner, close the door, and then get back into the bunkhouse. And while that's not necessarily the most convenient thing, it does mean that you can access every room of this RV and all critical features without opening up the slides. That was obviously speed enhanced, but isn't it amazing the difference you feel even just on video, like let alone in person? It's even more impacting in person. Seeing an RV with the slide closed and then open, it's awesome. Now what's also making this RV feel larger is the taller ceiling. J-Flights have a 6'9" ceiling, but what's interesting is the chassis that they run on allows them to be taller inside without being taller outside. It actually has a slightly lowered floor. Pretty cool. Over here, you've just got a simple little storage sofa that could fold down into a small sleeper. If you're going to utilize something other than the bunks for sleeping, it's probably going to be this big old True U dinette. And I apologize for the fire detector chirping. Apparently it's got a low battery that I didn't flip out a second ago. Anyway, this was one of the last years that J-Flight offered their telescoping dinette, which if you're not familiar with it, why talk about it when we can just see it, right? And this is a feature I always liked, and we were always very successful with here at Haylet RV, probably because we actually took the time to demonstrate it like I'm doing now. It required 1 ounce of effort, which unfortunately, the stereotypical thing that most places won't lift a finger they don't have to try to show anybody anything, sadly is the reason that this is no longer with us. So if you really need to maximize your seating area, both ends of the dinette can extend out. Now, all of the seating, decking, and cushions is basically self-stored within those, or you could leave that stuff at home and basically use it like a slide-open drawer. Now, the rear bench of the U-dinette floats, and there's storage in it, so it's easier to get to. But you know what I looked at right when they first started doing this was right about the time I first became a father. And I went, oh my God, this camper has a built-in pack and play. And with the thermal package that we built onto this J-Flight, which is now standard, but it was optional when we built this camper, there is a radiant barrier running through the slide flooring. Most people don't think about it. Everyone always asks, like, what are the R values of the camper? But the slides are almost never insulated to anything close to the degree of the main body of the camper. So sometimes it doesn't matter how good you insulate the RV when you've effectively got an uninsulated 14-foot hole in the side of your trailer. People just don't seem to think about that. But the fact is, the way that we built this one, let's say you do have a little baby and you put them down over here and it's a little hot or a little chilly or spring, summer, fall camping, whatever, they're going to be able to keep their temperature regulated far more easily because of that radiant barrier that we put down in there. Now the air conditioner up here, we built this with a larger 15,000 BTU, so you got the superior cooling power. And one of the things that J-Flight really touted when this was built was how they had raised panel cabinet doors in their kitchen area and a matching 8 cubic foot fridge freezer. A lot of RVs have since switched over to a bigger fridge like that. Some still haven't. J-Flight was absolutely on the bleeding edge of that razor, and plywood drawers all the way down to the floor there. So you've always got good space. I like that. You've got storage below and all the way beside. You got a 6'9" pantry over here. In the middle, This could be kid storage. This could be linen storage, overflow pantry space, whatever you need it to be. You got a little bit of everything here. The bathroom is located right back near the kiddos, so that if they need to hop up at night, use the potty, they can. You see, we've got a direct entry door, but remember that does have a deadbolt, so you're not going to have to worry about any sort of privacy surprises. As that one commercial, you know, said years ago, it's like, I need my privacy. Anyway, does anybody even remember that commercial? Leave me a comment in the video description if you have any clue what I'm even talking about right now. Apologies. This is a taller trailer, and as a result, a taller person, like me, can easily stand in this shower without needing my head in the bubble. And that's one of the things that I really like about a J-Flight camper. It's why I actually personally camp in a J-Flight camper, because I can fit in the shower of these things, and that's not the case in a lot of campers. Now, a neat little note, the rear bunkhouse slide button is actually back here. It's not up by the master control panel. And at first that seems a little inconvenient, but then you realize it's because you have to be able to see the bunkhouse to open and close that slide so that you can make sure the kids didn't leave anything on the floor that's going to get crunched up and jack up the slide flooring or anything like that, because that's a bad day at the office. Now you've got the little convert-a-cube sort of system going on right here. There's just like, there's 10 different ways you can arrange these things. They can be beds, they can be loungers, they can be something like a sofa. You can do whatever weird configuration this is that I have here. And during the day, it allows the kids to have their own room when this bunk flips up right here. And that's 300 pound rated, by the way. Jayco's bunks are always at least 300 pounds rated. And this is what I call a big kid bunk. It's 50% wider because it's over the top of the outside kitchen. But by making it so deep, they've created extra storage space here. And Jayco in-house builds their own barefoot-friendly ladders. That costs a little more, it weighs a little more, but you're buying a used RV, not a new RV, so the cost factor doesn't really apply to you. We already kind of talked about the sofa, pardon the dinette table. I just set that up there real quick to show you that free-floating bench. We've got dual sliding pocket privacy doors. This camper would have been built with a TV. It does look like the previous owners kept a hold of that. The new RV that they bought actually did not include a screen, so they probably utilized this in there. Down below, this is made right before the Bluetooth cusp, so it is just stereo and DVD. But something I'm always a sucker for is a clutter-cutting shoe garage right by the entry door, especially in a bunkhouse model like this, where you've always got tons of kids. Now, you're noticing there are dryer sheets just slathered all over this thing. They were all over the entire trailer, and if you're not familiar with why, this does two things for us. First of all, it leaves the RV smelling spring fresh or like Hawaiian breeze or whatever scent, or I don't want to say flavor, but you know what I mean. Whatever variety you pick. The other thing is critters. They don't like them. There's some kind of active chemical in these things where like mice are like, nope, I don't want anything to do with that. Now this is a, this is a 60 by 80 queen, I think. If not, there is room to apply a 60 by 80 queen here. J-Flights used to have a Camp Queen, and then right about the time this was built, they transitioned over. And eyeballing it, I'm having a hard time discerning which one is which right now. But it's hot, I'm tired, and I need to go get a drink. And the exterior looks absolutely fantastic. I don't know if they had this stored inside something like a barn, or if they were just really on top of their cleaning and routine maintenance regimen, but the skin, no oxidation, no peeling, no flaking, everything looks good. Power awning, power tongue jack, 30-pound propane tanks versus 20, so you got 50% more time between fills. And the thermal package I mentioned does a couple things for us. A lot of different brands have some kind of, they call it thermal or polar or blah 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 package. The J-Flight thermal package in a wood skeleton classification and category is hands down the most comprehensive. It starts with an enclosed and heated underbelly, and that is where most brands will end. It then adds extra insulation into the slide flooring that we talked about, the radiant barrier, insulation of the belly, and the roof. It has roughly an equivalent insulation package to something like an Eagle fifth wheel, but they have never actually, to my knowledge, cold chambered and tested a J-Flight for 0-degree functionality, so I won't make a promise that they haven't. Now we've got a large outside camp kitchen here. One thing I noticed though, I don't think they used it much. I think they used it mostly for storage because the refrigerator has been removed, and to my knowledge, it is gone. I don't believe it will be rejoining us. We do still have this nice little drawer. We've got a real sink with a drain out here, which is one of the things J-Flight was ahead of the curve on, as opposed to the dog dish that you just dribble onto the ground. cooktop outside, and handy little TV hookups. And like we mentioned earlier, we do have a direct entry bathroom. So this will help organically keep dirt out of your RV because people are going to be inclined to use that right there instead of walking through the trailer. The tires look great. There's no signs of weather checking or uneven wear patterns or anything like that. Everything I can see, like I can see where they had done some spot touch-ups on seals in certain areas here and there, which is good. An RV of this age, it's at about the point where with regular care, maintenance, and upkeep, you would want to have a couple little spot seals checked. But there's no problems. Like, I can't find anything I'm really concerned with on this camper. So if you're looking for a big family bunkhouse, but you're on a used budget, there you go. Come see us. Don't believe she'll last long. J-Flights never do. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.